In the building, the music and the printed word still means something and is still so important. But I still believe in it. No matter what, support your street press, read it. You can go to your playlist and your Facebooks.
Welcome our guests to the stage and hope you enjoyed tonight's program. Thank you. It's my pleasure to welcome you to Wednesday Ritual, the Origins of Inpress. A trip down memory lane with some of the original founding staff from the weekly street press publication. Tonight we welcome lead TREWEEK of Street Press Australia, Inpress co-founders Andrew Watt and Rowena Weber, along with KATRINA Hall and Michael PARISI, as they discuss and rediscover what it was that made picking up a copy of Inpress a weekly ritual for so many Melbourne music lovers. This event is produced in partnership with Melbourne Music Week. My name is Rebecca Anthony. I'm a program's producer here at SLADDIN. We're joined here tonight by Alana Wilkinson, Melbourne singer-songwriter, described as equal parts vulnerable folk singer and vitriolic punk poet.
We borrowed a very ancient laptop from my mum.
I think that was the thing that gave us the edge.
We got lucky with the people. I see Fiona Scott Normandy, Leigh Patch, who was a kid who, was a uni friend of yours.
The writing skills of people like Leigh and Fiona and Chris Johnson, there's a whole lot of people who've written books.
When we took over the magazines, we made Miff Warhurst our first managing editor.
It was exciting because, I was getting paid to do something actually.
I've been editor of Farrago at Melbourne Uni. I've done an arts degree. My heart was in that place where I wanted to produce something that I could be proud of.
We got lucky with the people. I see Fiona Scott Normandy, who's now waiting, who has a fantastic Facebook page that features chickens. People like Fiona, who was so real and deeply, passionate about the theatre scene. And Leigh Patch, who was a kid who, was a uni friend of yours.
Yeah, and the amazing thing in that time was seeing the writing skills of people like Leigh and Fiona and Chris Johnson. There's a whole lot of people who've written books and done amazing things, but to actually see them, their own craft grow through the process, and that's because we didn't really have time to edit them. As Rowena said, they were really creative and they did what they had to do and got really good at it and then went on to really amazing things. But, to think of some of the names who wrote for Inpress back in the day.
When we go back and you look at the Australian music, from a music point of view, you've got Tim Jones who runs Caroline. For when we took over the magazines, we made Miff Warhurst our first managing editor. Mikey Carroll, I think there's probably nearly every major daily editor has come through street press, record companies. It's been, it's like what you would call now, it was like an incubator for the scene, and it was, not necessarily did many have experience in any other thing other than working for a street press.
It was a training ground in many different ways. Yeah.
Not formalised, but a training ground. 30-day deal with the printer. We sublet premises from a mate of mine who already had an office, and he kind of let us in cheap. We borrowed a very ancient laptop from my mum, and we got a $10,000 bank overdraft, obviously unsecured because we had nothing to secure it with. And away we went. There was a rumour at the time that Paul Dainty was actually our secret silent partner funder. I can guarantee you he was not, and I wish he had been. But no, we just literally bootstrapped, I think is the phrase they use these days, and very quickly we found ourselves a couple of staff. Michael was our first advertising rep.
Yeah, and it was like, for me as a young kid from the suburbs, I'm from Reservoir. That's a joke. But for me it was exciting because I was getting paid to do something actually.
Not much.
Yeah.
I didn't care though, because I was getting free gigs and getting free records, so that's all that mattered to me.
I think I gave Michael here was to go and do a fashion spree on some of the shops in Brunswick Street, and I can remember Michael looking at me going, "Are you serious?" But we were.
Yeah, and for me it was a way out of Reservoir, to be frank. and I enjoyed it. It was great, you know.
And I think we wanted to stretch the boundaries a little bit, even though we had to do the same. We had to pull in the butts. We had to sell the advertising, and I know at times it was frustrating that we sometimes had to compromise ourselves in order to get the advertising revenue coming through.
It was hard work.
I know.
And was the industry, were they supportive at the very beginning? Because obviously you've started, you're a new face, there's a new magazine, you need interviews, you need the content. How did that happen? How did that come about?
You know, we needed advertising from record companies, and we had this debate in our head, or probably not in our head, at some bar, that hey, if we put a Warner artist on the front cover, Sony will be. So we went for somebody who was neutral, that was record company agnostic. Well, there's our first front cover. Richard Wilkins spelled Wilkens, so we managed to spell Richard Wilkins' name wrong. And the reason he was on the front cover was one of those compromises that Rowena was talking about.
As well as Andrew's expertise and passion for music and the crew that we managed to assemble around us as very passionate young people, I think that was what contributed towards us making our mark as quickly as we did.
Lipstick kisses on the mirrors, glitter